I'll be starting in just a few minutes. Come on in and make yourself comfortable while I get ready for today's live stream. I hope you're doing well today. Let me know in the chat how you're doing as you arrive. We'll be getting started with this Reiki ASMR in just a few minutes. Hello, Jan. I hope you're doing well today. Welcome in. Hello. So good to see you. If you're just joining, welcome. I'll be getting started with today's live stream in just a couple minutes. Please come in and make yourself comfortable. Just making sure everything sounds okay. Oh, really, Jan? I hope everything is all right with you. Yeah, the winter blues are upon us. I've always found that for me, getting through February has been the most challenging month for the winter blues. I'm drinking some chai tea this morning. For you, it's January. Yeah. Hello, Jay. Welcome in. I'll be getting started in just a few minutes. Please come on in and make yourself comfortable. Just setting things up here. All right. Let's begin now. This is Reiki by request. And I'm going to put up the gifts for making a Reiki request today right now. You should see them appear horizontally on your screen there. During the next 2 hours or so, you can just sit back and relax as we open to receive Reiki energy healing. In order to receive Reiki, all that you need to do is be willing to receive. Together we relax as we open to receive. We take our time. There's no rush. Sometimes settling into a moment can take time and patience. Relax. Remember that no matter what the request is for Reiki today, Reiki always travels where it's needed and exactly how it's needed for your highest good. There's no controlling the flow of Reiki, and no matter which words I use or what the request is, Reiki only works in one way, working on an energetic plane. Hello, MS. Welcome in. Just want to begin by introducing myself. My name is Jen, and I am a certified Reiki Master Teacher. I'm a practitioner of Reiki, and for the next 2 hours or so, we will engage Reiki energy healing. I like to use a few ASMR elements. First, with my soft spoken voice. I'll be leading us through some guided visualization to help us relax and to enhance healing. Thank you for getting your heart me's as you come in. Let's get started. Hello, Kelly. So good to see you. I wanted to begin with a guided meditation and visualization to help take our energy and ground it down now. Good morning, Busy. Hello, my friend. As we come into this shared space together now, I'd like you to give yourself permission to be here, right here, arriving into this present moment. As you allow yourself to be present with whatever it is that you're going through right now. Miranda, I continue to have some problems with TikTok. It's not working well for me lately. Here in the United States, it was recently changed. That I'm having a lot of hiccups, so I'm glad that you found it, the live stream. That's it. Thank you for the roses, Luna. Thank you. Allowing yourself now to move into this very moment, acknowledging whatever it is that you're going through right now. My day is going well. How about you, Romaine? Good morning, Allison. Just looking and noticing any sensations that you're feeling in the body. Sensation is all right. Sensation may be sadness, anxiety. It may be hunger or longing. It might be sickness or joy. Sensation may be tingling or exhaustion, confusion, happiness. Just allowing yourself to acknowledge now whatever sensations you're experiencing in this moment. It's all right. No judgment, just looking and allowing. My love, Delilah. Making space now for whatever is there, allowing it to be. Oh, Sarah, I'm so sympathetic. I remember having a sick 1-year-old as well. Thank you for getting your heart knees as you come in. Let's continue to work on our presence as we begin today's Reiki energy healing. As we begin to notice the arrangement of our physical body in time and space. Good morning. Hello, Lauren, Romaine, and Allison. Thank you for the gifts. Becoming cognizant of the arrangement of our bones, of our muscles, and of our breath. Hello, Matt. And as we become aware of our breathing now, just noticing, I'd like you to imagine the breath taking up more space. As you inhale deeply, imagine the space around you beginning to grow and fill with breath. And as you exhale, imagine all that space emptying of any heavy or challenging energy. Breathing deeply in and out. Let's take one more gigantic breath, just like that. Breathing in and out. Good. Beautiful. Welcome into today's Reiki by request. If you'd like to make a request today, you can gift one of the pinned gifts. You should see them on the top of your screen there. Today I'm taking requests for Reiki, crystal healing, sound healing, and energy cleanse. I think that my live stream is not sending to followers. I've been having some troubles with TikTok. So it might just be a few of us in here today. Thank you for getting your heart me's as you come in and saying hello in the chat. Jennifer, good to see you. All right, since we don't have any requests to get us started, I was actually called to bring out this Carnelian crystal. Hello. Yes, I do, Miranda. I do have some singing bowls. I have some metallic bowls, and I have a crystal bowl as well. I wanted to use this Carnelian today because Carnelian reminds me of heat and fire. In fact, it is a crystal energy of the sacral chakra, the flame and the energy of the digestion. It ignites passion, bringing inner heat and warmth to the energy bodies. Carnelian is a warming energy, and here it's been very cold. With the temperature, you're in Pennsylvania, Lex. It's freezing. It's so cold here. Carnelian helps us to activate that inner fire, that inner warmth. As we use the breath now, to stoke the inner flames right in the abdomen. Thank you for getting your heart me as you come in. Hello, Ash. I'd like you now to direct your breath into the belly. As you inhale, drinking in pranic energy to fill the belly. And as you exhale, allowing the belly to empty fully of breath. Each inhalation is an invitation to welcome in more warmth. Imagine that each breath carries a shard of flame. Cece, thank you so much. Oh my goodness. Wow. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much. That scared me. I've never received a whale diving before, so I didn't know what to expect. I need to breathe that out. Thank you so much for making requests. Cece, let me get you down with a coral for a Reiki request. Hello, Kion. Thank you for your gifts. Thank you for making a request for a cleanse and a crystal healing. Whew. Please let me know in the chat if you have a particular request. Thank you so much. Yeah, for the coral gift. For a request for Reiki, please let me know in the chat. If you have a particular request today, such as a theme or a challenge that you want addressed, or a particular desire or crystal or energy that you want. Otherwise, I'm happy to do something intuitive as well. All right, let me finish up with this and we'll get to the first request will be for Cece with Reiki. Thank you so much. Imagining that each inhalation brings a flicker of flame to the abdomen. You can even imagine that fire as a particle. And as you inhale that flame into the belly, Imagine that flame flickering like a candle. Can you see it and feel it in the belly? That's it. Good. Holding that flame, that fire in the abdomen, and nourishing that spark. Letting that spark give rise to a flame of fire. And imagining that you bring to that fire any kindling of energetic debris that you would like to burn. Hello, Mother. That you would like to feed into the fire. Bringing that energetic kindling and tossing it in and listening to the way that fire responds as it crackles, as it rises to burn away that energetic debris. That's it. Good. If you're just joining, welcome in. This is Reiki by request. We have a few requests already sent. Thank you so much. I want to get right into those requests. Our first request, thanks for getting your heart me. Our first request is from Cece for Reiki. Please let me know in the chats if you have a particular request today, Cece, or if you would like some intuitive healing. All right, I will just go ahead and assume then that you would like something intuitive if you're still here, hopefully. Let's get started. Let me sit for a minute with your request for something intuitive, and we'll get started. Hello, Kion. Let me know in the chat about your requests if you have a particular request for your cleanse and for your crystal healing as well. So this first one is for Cece. It's a request for Reiki. Cece gifted some coral. All right, let's get started with our first request for the session. This is for Cece, who requested some Reiki. Just a reminder that Reiki always travels where it's needed and how it's needed for you, no matter what words or visualization I'm using, as long as you're open to receive. And Cece, the image that came to mind for me was actually one of a person in a boat. So I'm going to go ahead and unpack and explore that visualization. I'd like you to imagine a still, tranquil lake, just as the sun is beginning to rise over the horizon. You are in a boat that is low and close to the water, so that you can feel the subtle shifting of the water beneath you. And you can see the subtle mist as it begins to rise and curl. toward the rising sun. Before you is still and misty water, gently rippling with the soft breeze. Imagine now that you reach for the paddles of this canoe, taking each paddle in a hand. Imagine the sensation of rowing. As that canoe begins to move forward on the lake, I'd like you to slow down that moment as you propel the boat forward in time and space. It's almost like a slow motion vision that you can see in your mind's eye. As the boat crests over the soft and still water, inching its way forward with easeful momentum, moving towards something in the distance with ease and tranquility. I'd like you to hold that image of that small canoe taking its first push forward. Moving slowly and tenderly forward in its own way. Unhurried. A complete part of the lake and the mist and the rising sun. Just a beautiful and simple snapshot of a peaceful moment in which you leave behind the past, moving compassionately forward. Good. Thank you so much for making the first request of this session, CC. Thank you for your request for Reiki. I hope that visualization resonated with you in this moment. Coming up next, we have a double request from our friend Kion for an energy cleanse and a crystal Reiki healing. Oh, good. Oh, good, Jason. Perfect. Chelsea. Hello, my friend. So good to see you. How are you? Kion, did you have a particular request in mind, or would you like something intuitive for your healing? Let me know in the chat. Perfect. As you come in, welcome. Please get your heart meet. Thank you for tapping the screen. Hello, Jennifer. So good to see you. Welcome in. All right. Oh my goodness. That's so scary. I have a kiddo who takes the bus too. I feel sometimes like parenting, at least for me, is like 85% worrying. I'm always worrying. Try to keep it under control to help you center yourself and ground. Absolutely, Kion. Let me write that down. All right, hello Kayla, give me a few moments. I'm going to sit with this request. Coming up next is an energy cleanse and crystal healing for Kion, centered on grounding and centering, balancing energy. Thank you so much, Witcher. Definitely want to use this specimen of moss agate for this healing. I'd also, thank you for getting your heartbeat, Chelsea. I'd also like to use some clary sage essential oil to help with grounding. Let me just get that set up. Hold on. Okay. I also want to use, I'm going to use my pine cone chime as well. Let me grab these things and we'll get started. All right. I'm going to use my essential oil clary sage, and I'm going to add it to my spray bottle here with some carrier oil. Give me just a second to get that ready. Okay. And I know that you can't smell the clary sage. It's so funny, CJ, I just oiled it last night. It's so dry in my house with the wood stove. Yeah, so this is actually quite moisturized for my hair recently. Believe it or not, it's actually just recently oiled. I know it looks very dry and wispy. All right, I know that you can't smell the clary sage, but I'd like to use it as an essence to infuse the Reiki. Clary sage is a grounding and earthy resonance, vibration. And as I spray it, I'd like you to, I'd like you to imagine that the spray is surrounding you with a cool and refreshing mist. You can even imagine that the mist is slightly green and earthy colored, maybe with flecks of mahogany and verdant particles of greens and yellows, rich and deep browns. just like the colors that you would find in a forest. If you were to make your vision blurry, seeing the forest as an impressionistic painting where all the colors kind of marry together. Imagining that as I spray this clary sage essential oil. It smells like sweet and dried earth, deep and rich sage. I'm going to use this shaman feather just to begin to move that clary sage toward the aura. It's alright, you guys, in the chat. It's okay. It's all right. As I fluff that energy toward the auric space, I'd like you to imagine that forest colored spectrum moving into the auric landscape. Thanks, Allison. As those fragments of forest color begin to permeate the auric landscape with its rich and earthy browns, a spectrum of mahogany and sepia, rich acorn browns with deep verdant greens and the fresh green of springtime. Allowing those gentle colors to move toward the aura. Just relax. Filling the auric space with the lush colors of a forest. And as you breathe in, imagine inhaling those soft and gentle colors. Good. Those easy, verdant, and rich forest colors bring ease and grounding to the body, just as if you were being hugged by tall pines and oaks. Good. That's it. I'd like you to hang on to that forest imagery. I'm going to bring in some sound healing as the next piece. This is my pine cone chime, and it's made of iron, so it's very heavy when I'm holding it. It must weigh at least 5 pounds. It's pretty heavy for a chime. And as I sound the chime, I'd like you to imagine that the sound is calling you to the heart of the forest. With each vibration of the chime, imagining almost like you're teleported right into the heart of a clearing, a forest thicket. Hello, Tina. Instantaneously carried there, allowing your spiritual energy body to journey immediately there. All around you are the sounds of the forest. The sound of long grass blowing in the breeze. The sound of birds singing high in the trees. The sound of the texture of the leaves as they rustle. Are you ready? Perfect. Well done. Letting that resonance saturate each layer of energy as it permeates into the physical energy body, as it fills the emotional energy body, as it nourishes the intellectual energy body, and as it courts the spiritual energy body, filling each layer with the colors of the forest as you arrive in that clearing. That's it. Here in the clearing of the forest, you can breathe easily. Here in the clearing of the forest, you can just allow yourself to be. Here in the clearing, there's no rush. You are held by the trees and the earth. Good. And as you breathe in the rich aroma of the forest canopy, you let that smell permeate the sinuses, opening more space. That's it. To follow with some crystal energy here. This is moss agate. And you can tell just from its colorings that it invokes that earthy forest landscape that we were just talking about. Lee, you love moss agate? Moss agate is an energy that reconnects us to the earth. You love moss agate too, Kion. If you have your own specimen of moss agate, you might bring it out. You can just hold it during the Reiki healing. That can be really amplifying of the energy. Moss agate carries with it a delicious softness. Do you know, can you imagine in your mind a piece of stone that's embedded in the side of a hill, just slightly exposed to the sun? And the ridge of that stone is blanketed in a rich, bright, green moss. So soft. If you were to touch that bed of moss, it would feel like a cloud beneath your fingertips. Moss agate invokes that gentle entry. It is an incredibly grounding stone, encouraging you to allow heavy energy to be heavy. Let it drop. Let it fall to the earth, just like a stone. Yes, Reiki. Sensation is very, very normal when experiencing Reiki. And sensation can appear like many different things. If you experience sensation when receiving Reiki, my first advice is to allow, without fear, the sensation to come and go. Let it come, and then let it go. Sensation is a reaction to changing energy, and it can appear as many different things. Good. Moss agate is an energy of oxygenization. Just like the trees in the forest bring oxygen, abundant oxygen, to feed the lungs, moss agate invites spaciousness, dense and rich oxygenization, filling every cell. With nourishment. Good, of course. Imagining each cell brimming with health, verdant light, a soft blanket of moss. Good. This energy returns you to the heart of the forest. Good. Where you feel safe. Perfect. My dog is lying on my bed today. I usually never let her stay in here when I'm doing a live stream, but she was so cute. She's so relaxed. Letting that grounding energy seep through the pores of the energy bodies, dredging the layers of energy in verdant light. Allison, I have a mixed breed dog. She is pit bull, brown Labrador, and boxer. Good. Thank you so much for your request, Kion. Let me know in the chat, my friends, how that healing arrived for you. Hello, Kim. So good to see you. Thank you so much for tapping your screen. We're at 30K likes. Thank you. Welcome to the new followers. Great to have you here. Be sure to get your heart me as you arrive. That way, in theory, you'll get notified when I'm live, although TikTok is not quite responding perfectly these last few days. All right, coming up next, we have another request for Reiki. This is for Ya. Just a reminder that requests include everyone, because Reiki always travels where it's needed for you and your highest good, no matter what the request is. Ya, let me know in the chat if you had a particular request or if something intuitive is okay for you today. Let me see that comment. Dude. I'm going to pin that, dude. That comment just made my day. Thank you so much. Intuitive, of course. Yeah. let me sit with that for a minute. Thank you for getting your heart me, Vic. Hello. Perfect. All right, let me sit with this next request for Reiki and we'll get started. All right. For me, oftentimes requests come through intuitively as visuals for me. So I actually did have a visual just pop into my mind, and I'm going to use it to guide this healing. I just want to begin by clearing the space, the energetic space surrounding you. Oh, Dee Dee, wonderful. I'm glad you're liking the yoga. I haven't been sure how it's going to go over with my viewers. Thanks for the feedback. Just wanting to clear some of that energy surrounding you here. Letting go of any energy that's ready to move and change. Oh, good, Kim. Releasing. Yes, I do, RD. You can click on my profile picture in the upper corner. All of my links are there. I do have a YouTube, and I post my live stream rebroadcast there within 24 hours as well. Good. Hello, Kendall. How are you? Just doing a quick energy sweep here before we begin with the visualization. All right, I'll try to communicate as best I can the image that popped into my head for this healing. I'd like you to imagine now a shining and spinning orb of yellow and orange light, almost like the sun, hovering freely and spinning. Vibrant and warm colors of yellow and orange flicker through the air. It's almost as if this orb is dancing. In fact, it is dancing, swaying and twirling freely and joyously, gaining momentum with a spirit of ease and joy, just by moving and dancing. As it spins and twirls, flickers of color fly out from its edges. Pieces and flickers of yellow and orange light This spinning and dancing orb invites you to dance as it courts you, inviting you to surrender, moving. What's that word? It's like a word for movement. The opposite of stagnation. You know when you are sitting still and you almost feel like you can't move freely because you've restricted your movement for so long. So even like moving a little bit makes you feel heavy, weighted. I'm looking for a word that's the opposite of that. It's not momentum. That's the word that came to mind, but that's not it. It's the opposite of stagnation. The opposite of stagnation. Thanks for your words in the chat. I like that word. I like that word, Lynn. I don't think that's it. It's okay. Maybe it will come to me. Fluidity, that's a little bit closer. Thank you guys for helping me in the chat. Anyway, this orange and yellow dancing light, I love that word, Kelsey, invites you to move. Do you know the sensation when you've been sitting for a long time and it almost feels like you've become stone? Muscles begin to feel rigid, dynamic, Mike. That's the word. I love those words though. Undulating, what a beautiful word. Dynamic was the word I was looking for. Thank you. When you've been sitting for so long that you begin to feel like stone, and I don't just mean physically, I also mean emotionally or spiritually or intellectually speaking, there's a stagnation that has happened. And it almost feels like if you were to begin moving it, it would hurt. Have you ever felt like that before? So sometimes it almost feels like staying stagnant is safer. Well, this dancing, bright, undulating orb of orange and yellow light is the exact opposite of that. It's dynamic. And it invites you to surrender to movement and momentum. Inviting you to lift up and out of that stagnant feeling and to join the dance in a whirlwind of warm light as you become a spinning ball of energy, dancing freely, your arms whipping around overhead, your legs kicking up light, twirling and spinning without care or worry, just dancing. that's it. That's the image that came to mind. I hope that resonated with you. Any of you watching. It's an image of joy and freedom. Amazing, yeah, that's interesting. That was for you. Kim, thank you so much for sending a swan my way and requesting a crystal healing. I love that, yeah, perfect. Kim, let me know in the chat if you have a particular request in mind. Yeah, for a crystal healing. Do you know what's funny, yeah? Is when I closed my eyes to imagine a message for your healing, I actually thought of a crystal first. And I really wanted to use a crystal, but I was like, no, they didn't request a crystal. So I already know what I'm going to use for your crystal healing, if you want it to be intuitive. If not, then I won't use it, but I actually already have something in mind. Kim, looking for help with anxiety and health problems. Absolutely. Was there, you don't have to tell me if it's not comfortable, but I'm curious about if there is a particular health problem, because there are certain crystals that work well with certain parts of the physical body. So for example, if you're having heart issues, there's certain crystals for that. If you're having joint issues, there's certain crystals for that. If you're having issues with like the respiratory system or the reproductive system, I mean, etc., right? So there are specific crystals for certain ailments. So if you're comfortable sharing muscles and muscle weakness, okay, perfect. All right, let me sit for a moment with Kim's request and we'll get started. Labrie, thank you so much for making a request for a crystal healing. Let me know in the chat, Labrie, if you have a particular request or if you are open to something intuitive today. Anxiety and grounding, you got it. All right, Kim, for your healing, I want to use amber as our crystal. So please give me just a second here to find that crystal and we'll get started. Perfect, it was actually right there. For those of you watching at home, if you have a specimen of amber, go ahead and grab it. It's always a nifty experience to hold a crystal of your own when these healings are happening, and amber is a bit of a common crystal. All right, coming up next is our request for Kim. Oh, Abby, I don't know. Ash, I know I use amber oftentimes when you've made requests, Ash, and moss agate too, actually. We used both of those today. Let's take a moment here with this amber crystal. Just running it through. And let's observe how the bodies feel, the energy bodies, as this amber moves through. as we take in visually the color and the texture of the crystal, and we sense the healing properties of this crystal. Coda, thank you so much for the corgi, my friend. Appreciate it. Now, if you've ever held a specimen of amber, then you know it's as light as air. This is one of the lightest crystals I've ever held. It's so light that it feels like it's almost not there. And that is one of the healing properties of amber. It brings a lightness. It's especially good for relieving muscle and joint pain. Thank you for getting your heart, me. Hello, Lori. As it infuses sticky or heavy feeling areas of the energy bodies with a buoyant lightness. Hello, Sia. Thanks for being here. I missed you too. It's been about a week since I've streamed on this account. Good. Breathing in a warm sensation into the muscles, into the joints, into the connective tissues of the physical body. Amber is an energy of reparation and regeneration. A mending energy, suturing back together torn or aching connections. If you think of amber as it crystallizes from a sticky kind of sap. Dude, thank you for getting your heart, me. And then becomes a light and tangible shape. Right. Amber has that ability of expanding and contracting, of moving from something sappy and sticky to something firm and complete. Very good for any kind of ailment that you have in the joints or the muscles or the connective tissues. Amber is an energy of regeneration and renewal. It is an energy also of good health, bringing an overall feeling of well-being to the physical, the emotional, the mental, and the spiritual. Amber is also an energy that touches each of the chakra energy centers, from the soul chakra all the way down to the earth chakra, the earth star, soul star to earth star, and everything in between. Amber is like crystallized light. I'd like you to imagine now that honey-colored light of amber shooting through the fabric of the muscles, filling each striation of muscle with honeyed light. Thanks for getting your heartbeat space. Sia, thank you for getting your heartbeat. And I'd like you to imagine the sensation of the muscle being coated in honey, amber honey. That's it. Honey that mends and sutures, healing wherever it touches. Good. Amber has so many properties. Another of its properties is positivity, because it is a very light crystal, and because it is a crystal that is full spectrum from crown to tail. It's also an energy of balance and positivity. It's hard to bask in negative or heavy energy when you're confronted with honeyed light. Thanks for your question, Irene. Reiki is not associated with a religion. Historically, depending on which story you believe, for the origin of Reiki, and there are many different stories and many different histories for energy healing. But Reiki got its name in the East and was associated with a practitioner named Usui. And depending on which history you read, whether it's an Eastern history or a Western history, Usui was either Buddhist or Christian. If the history was written by a Christian, then he was Christian, and if it was written by a Buddhist, he was Buddhist. Such is the way of histories. However, Reiki is not connected to any doctrine or any religious beliefs. Reiki is incredibly simple. It is energy. And energy is transcendent of doctrine. Allowing this honeyed light of easy warmth to permeate into each striation of muscle. Bringing ease and sweetness. Thanks for getting your heartbeat. Hello, Chair. Hello, Tammy. Good. Kim, do you own a specimen of amber? It's a very inexpensive crystal. It's very common, so it should be easy for you to find. If you don't have one, I highly recommend. Oh, good, yeah. Thanks for getting your heartbeat, Jen. Hello. Thank you so much for your request, Kim. Oh boy, let's see. All right, I have quite a few requests next. Yeah, you have a request for Reiki. Do you want something intuitive? I didn't catch whether or not you had a particular request. You had a crystal request, and I wanted to use a specific crystal for you here. And let's see, Sean. Sorry, I can't read my own handwriting here. Give me just a sec to scroll back up and see what yours was. Yours was a crystal. Oh, wait a minute. I think I wrote the wrong one down. Huh. Interesting. Intuitive, yes. I wanted to use a particular one, but I have Sean written down as a crystal healing, and I can't find it. Are you still in here, Sean? Just want to see if I think I might have written down the wrong thing. Hold on just a sec. I need to go back through and see. Yeah, I thought I was going crazy, so I think I wrote down the wrong name. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Okay. Sometimes I can't read my handwriting. It's horrible. Anyway, coming up next is Ya with a request for an intuitive crystal healing, and then Labrie with also a request for a crystal healing. Oh, dude, did you make a request? I don't think you did. That's interesting, dude. Maybe your name just came to me. Alright, coming up next, I actually had a crystal come to mind when Ya made their first request, and it was this one here. This is blue rose quartz. Kim, yes I do. I have a virtual store that I use sometimes. Let me think of the name. It's called New Moon Beginnings. That's the name of the store. New Moon Beginnings. And that is the store that I use most frequently for online purchases. I really like their inventory, and I like the quality of their gemstones, and their pricing is really nice too. All right. Thanks for getting your heartbeat. Okay, this is blue rose quartz. Just look at its beautiful color. It's like a purpley, starry violet. Blue rose quartz is similar to the more common pink rose quartz in that it is a nourishing energy for the heart. Very focused on the heart chakra. And emotional healing. Blue rose quartz is an energy of the inner child of the heart. Let's take a moment here and breathe into the heart space. As you inhale, imagining the heart expanding with a gentle, starry violet ray light. We always take our time and move gently when we work into the heart. It's a very tender space. it's okay to move slowly. As this blue rose quartz energy begins to weave its way with its starry violet tendrils, encapsulating the heart space with its light. As this gentle light continues to spiral through the heart begins to soften as it awakens like a blossom turning toward the moonlight. Petal by petal, opening slowly. If it's safe for you to do so, you might even bring a hand to sit right on top of the heart space for this healing. As you breathe into the heart, just listening to the sounds of the heart space. It's all right. Opening to receive messages from the heart. As the heart continues to open like a blossom, open communication between you and the heart space is possible. Listening and receiving the messages of the heart today. It's all right. Slow and easy. Letting the messages of the heart be a song that it sings to you. A lullaby. A message of love. Good. That's it. Nothing to do with that song except to hear it. That's it. No need to analyze that message. No need for decoding. Just opening to allow yourself to hear the rhythm, the song of the heart. Hello, Kurkula, Kurukula, Kurukula. I think I said it right. Willie, thank you for getting your heartbeat. Good. As you open into that communication with the heart space, let the heart feel strengthened, fortified, strong, stronger in its ability to sing. Stronger in its ability to share and to open. Good. That's it. Thank you for the roses, Ash. Good. Taking your hands onto the heart space if you can do so. Closing your eyes if you're able to do so safely. I'd like you just to feel the warmth of the palms as they hold the heart. Letting that warmth sink down through the layers of your heart. Good. That's it. Hi, Monique. Good to see you. Thank you so much for your request. Ooh, I just need a second here just to let that go. That was very powerful. Thank you for that request. Let me know in the chat if any thoughts or feelings came up for you during that big heart healer. So glad, Melissa. Glad you received that. All right, I'm going to go ahead and take down the requests for today. I do have one more request to get to before the end of the session. This is for Labrie. And Labrie made a request for a crystal healing to help with anxiety and to assist with grounding. Wow, it was. Yeah, I agree, Ash. That was a good progression of crystals. Feeling some pain, Jade. Yeah. Hi, Labrie. Good. You're coming up next. Just remembering that sensation is a normal reaction when energy is moving through the energy bodies. The best thing to do when you feel sensation is to allow it. And sometimes that is the hardest thing to do, especially if it's a sensation that might not feel great. Sometimes sensation is wonderful. Other times the sensation might be challenging. Try to allow space for sensation to be. And as we allow sensation, like all energy, begins to move and change. That is the nature of energy. Amethyst is very good for anxiety. Amethyst, much like amber, is kind of a universal, is one of the more universal crystal energies. It really is a full spectrum crystal. Yeah, very good. All right, we have one more request for our session today. I wanted to thank everyone who made requests along the way. I appreciate your support. Thank you for tapping your screen. Let's try to get to 60K taps before the end of the session. Coming up next, our last request is for Labrie. Let me just sit with that for a moment and we'll get started. All right, I guess I only had to sit for a sec. I just got it. Let me grab my Carribean Calcite crystal. Perfect. Yay. I haven't worked with Carribean Calcite for a bit of time. Let's take a look at this beauty. I don't know if you can fully see and appreciate the color of this specimen. It looks very green on the screen here, but it does have some blue in it. It's more like it's so pretty. I don't even know what to call this color. It's like a, what is the name of that? Anyway, it's like a Caribbean sea. It has some airy green, ephemeral green, with a little bit of azure. You can see that. It looks like a Caribbean sea, which is where this crystal got its name, Carribean Calcite. Sea foam. That's exactly it. Yes. Thank you so much, Jarms. We'll pin that. Sea foam is the word I was looking for. Yes, Niles. Nelsa. That's exactly right. Let's take a moment here with this Carribean Calcite. It is an energy of tranquility, as if you are drifting on a Caribbean sea. This energy is one of deep inner peace. If inner peace had a color, it might be precisely this. An airy, sea foamy azure color of the sea. This energy engages a deep-seated feeling of peace, which is always within, but which sometimes becomes obfuscated, hidden, or buried. It's like a gem, a seed, excuse me, a seed of peace, always resting and waiting within. Hello, Janet. This energy taps into that center now. And as you feel and sensate into the core of inner peace within, you allow that sensation to grow. As it gives rise to a landscape of peace and tranquility. I invite you now to observe how that landscape takes shape within, like a watercolor painting. Do you remember what it's like to paint with watercolor? I'd like to describe something for you here. Imagine that you dip your paintbrush into soft and clear water. The tip of the paintbrush drips with clear and clean water. as you place it right into this gem. As the paintbrush absorbs that sea foam, airy green color of Carribean calcite, saturating the brush with its light and peaceful color. Imagine now that you bring the tip of that brush right to the center of the energy bodies. And when that paintbrush touches that center, that dot of crystalline color spreads just like watercolor touching paint paper. Have you seen that before? That's exactly it. Spreading across the page in its wispy and winding fashion. The beauty of a single drop of water expanding and blossoming across the page. Yeah, that's it. And as you watch that color of peace expanding through the body, you notice the edges of the color. As that drop of water reaches its highest expansion, noticing the edges, you dip your brush once again in the clear and cool water, once again bringing the tip of the paintbrush onto the Carribean calcite crystal. Holding the brush at a different point on the page and letting the color bleed out, expanding like a blossom, like a firework. Good. That's how the sensation of inner peace runs through the body, like a watercolor painting. Good. I'd like you to imagine now bringing the tip of that paintbrush exactly to the point within that requires the most attention right now, wherever that is. You can use your breath to help you to locate that space. Your breath is a map, a compass. Paying attention to the breath as it travels exactly where it needs to show you where you need that peaceful coloring the most. And I'd like you to bring the tip of that paintbrush right there, touching the point to the surface and watching as that sea foam peaceful color expands. just the visual. I loved that. Thank you so much for that journey. Thank you so much for joining me today as I wrap things up here on the Reiki by Request live stream for today. I do have a couple announcements to make. If you're still sticking around, thank you so much for getting us to 64K likes. Welcome to all the new followers. Thank you for getting your heart me's. And thank you so much for your generous gifts today. I appreciate your support. Thank you for all of your kindness in the chat. Just a couple of reminders. You can watch the rebroadcast of all of my live streams on my YouTube account. You can click on that in my profile page. I have all of my links there. Also, I have links there for my one-on-one services. If you're interested in working with me, I have all different kinds of packages for that. Couple more announcements here. A reminder that, let's see, superfans get to join me on the 1st of every month for our Reiki Energy Healing Circle. Our next one is February 1st. All superfans get free requests during the live stream, and we share our energy during the circle. So if you'd like to become a superfan, please check out superfan packages. Let me see. Oh yes, if you like traditional ASMR, I also have an ASMR channel here on TikTok, Evening Springtime ASMR. I'm streaming there now in the evenings and streaming Reiki in the daytime so that people don't get confused. Thanks for getting your heart me, King. Welcome. Let me see. Antonio, thanks for getting your heart me. Hello. I think that's it. I'm happy to stick around. Oh yes, Ash, thank you. And I also just started broadcasting yoga in the mornings. If you're interested in yoga, I've been practicing yoga since 1998. It's been a long time. Yoga is such a big part of my own healing journey, and I wanted to share that with you. So you can join me for yoga. Most of the time I'm streaming at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm happy to stick around for a few more minutes if you want to say hello or ask any questions. Otherwise, please enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you next time. I am going live random days now instead of having a schedule. I think I will be live streaming more that way if I can be a little bit more flexible with my time. So Reiki on this channel during the days, Reiki and yoga, and ASMR at night on my other channel, Evening Springtime ASMR. Thank you so much for being here, everyone. I love sharing this space with you. All right, have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now, everyone.